Thank you. Thank you, everyone. First, I want to say that this is a very emotional night because I'm usually standing here celebrating with Lindsay. So I know he's looking down right now, smiling though, so that gives me peace, but it's difficult. Secondly, I want to say thank you. Thank you to God for carrying my family and me through some of the most challenging times we've ever had the past few weeks. It's been extremely difficult. Thank you to my husband, Larry, my two daughters, Emily and Nicole, and Kyle, my son-in-law, and my beautiful grandson, Copeland, had to leave because it was getting a little late for him, but they were here earlier. Thank you to my staff, my official Senate staff, and my campaign team for standing by me and supporting me. I could not have gotten through the past few weeks without you. I want to thank President Trump. His steadfast support and his complete and total endorsement means so much to me. He knows that I will stand with him and fight for his agenda just like Lindsay did. I also want to thank my opponents, especially Russell Fry and Mark Sanford. They ran a good race. Most importantly, I want to thank the Republican voters of South Carolina for having confidence in me. I look forward to the next 2 weeks, meeting with you, listening to your concerns, and telling you more about me and my conservative values. I decided to answer the call to serve because South Carolina and President Trump need a leader who's tough, principled, and will fight to advance our conservative values in Washington. Lindsay and I grew up in one room in the back of a bar and liquor store where our parents worked long, hard hours to earn a living. That's where we learned a strong work ethic and the value of a dollar. From a young age, our parents taught us that you're not given anything in life, and no one owes you anything. If you want something, you work for it. That's how I've tried to live my life. I've spent my career serving the people of South Carolina. For the past 7 years, I led an agency dedicated to helping South Carolinians who are blind or visually impaired find employment, become more independent, and have the opportunity to provide for themselves and their families. I took a struggling agency and turned it into a national model. I never expected that career of service would lead me to the United States Senate. I certainly never expected it would happen under these circumstances. I've only been on the job in Washington for 3 weeks, and I've already passed a major piece of bipartisan legislation through the Senate that meant so much to Lindsay, the Russia sanctions bill, which I believe will end the bloodshed in Ukraine and keep Americans safer. I was also the deciding vote to confirm President Trump's Attorney General nominee, Todd Blanche. Some politicians never get a major piece of their legislation passed, so I've already accomplished more in a few weeks than many do in decades. So I'm very proud of that. So when President Trump and others asked me to run for a full term in the Senate, I prayed hard about it. I knew I could not sit on the sidelines. That's not how Lindsay and I were raised. That's not who I am. I'm a fighter. Here's what South Carolinians should know about me. I'm a conservative Republican. I'm not a career politician. I know how families are struggling to make ends meet because I've been there too. I have 2 daughters with health problems, so I know what it feels like to have outrageous medical bills. I know there's not one business in the country that would let you put everything on credit like we do today with the federal budget. You have to show an ID to check out a library book, so why wouldn't you have to show an ID to vote? That's why the first bill I co-sponsored was the Save America Act. Joe Biden let 12 million illegal immigrants into this country. President Trump and I are going to walk them right back out. I believe that if you want to come to the United States, you do it legally, and if you want to stay here, you respect our American values. I support the right to life. I believe that every human life is sacred and deserves protection. I strongly support the Second Amendment. I believe gun control is how steady you hold your weapon. I'm a volleyball mom. I love watching my daughter play, and I know that boys have no place in girls' sports, especially not in the locker room. I've been accused of not being a politician. Guilty as charged. I will spend the next 2 weeks of this runoff meeting with voters and, unlike some politicians, listening to their concerns. Yes, listening to their concerns. This seat belongs to the people of South Carolina, and I will work hard to earn your vote. This runoff will be a sprint and a team effort, and I certainly can't do this alone. So I'm asking you to go to darlinegraham.com to join my campaign, volunteer, and contribute $5, $10. Again, that's darlinegraham.com. If you didn't vote for me today, I will work to earn your vote in the runoff. Thank you for voting. Thank you so very much for your prayers. May God continue to bless this great state of South Carolina.
I'm curious, did he offer to come down here to campaign? And also, how do you plan to make the distinction between you and Rob Norman between now and 2 weeks from now?
Well, I'm hopeful that President Trump will come down, but we'll see. And there's a big distinction between myself and Ralph Norman. I'm a conservative. I have conservative values. I'm willing to work hard for the people. I'm willing to earn their votes. And, yeah, we'll see other differences as the weeks go on.
Senator, just earlier tonight, Congressman Ralph Norman said he has agreed to a debate on Monday. Are you participating in that debate? Have you agreed to that?
Well, that's the first I've heard of it, so we'll see.
Would you be willing to debate him on
I'll be
Monday?
willing to debate him, yes.
Senator, will you reach out to any of your other opponents asking them for their endorsements?
Yes, I plan to do that.
Have you
Yeah.
spoken to anyone tonight?
I've spoken to a couple of them. Well, just more to come.
Senator, what can we expect to see over the next 2 weeks in terms of campaigning? You said you want to continue to get your message out. What does that look like on the ground here in South Carolina?
Probably pretty much every day I'm going to be hitting the road. I want to sit down with the voters. I want to know what's important to them. So I want to meet one-on-one with as many people as I possibly can. So I plan to cover this entire state.
This is your first campaign, the first time that you are the one out front doing that. What's your level of comfort? Your brother had decades to get that level of comfort, but how do you feel doing that?
Well, it's been absolutely brutal. You know, this past month has been brutal. Today is the 11th. My brother passed 1 month ago today. So none of this has been comfortable for me. But like I said, I'm a fighter. I have buried my precious brother. I have taken on the role of a United States Senator, and I have had this brutal campaign schedule, and I'm still standing. If that doesn't tell you I'm a strong person and a fighter, nothing will. So I think I can handle the next 2 weeks.
Do two more questions. Senator, this is a massive moment for your campaign, but also, as you said, it's an emotional day for you and your whole family, you know, with the loss of Lindsay. So with everything that's happened here, you know, becoming, you know, the appointed senator, now deciding that you want to run for this, getting your feet wet in Washington, have you had time to sit and process that loss to amid all of this, and what does that look like for you and your family? I know it's really been a family situation.
It has been a family situation. It's been hard on my whole family, and unfortunately, I have not had a whole lot of time to process it. I've had my moments. They typically come early in the morning, you know, before my day gets started, and late at night when I go to bed.
Do you think about what you would say to him in this moment if you had that opportunity to just you and him, no cameras, no anything?
I think a lot about what I would say to him and what he would say. Right now, I think he would be very proud.
Yeah. Senator, what is the experience like watching votes come in for yourself compared to what it was like watching the votes come in for your brother?
You know, that's a really good question. I think I was probably always more nervous for Lindsay than myself. I'm not saying I wasn't nervous, but I think I was always a little more nervous for him. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.